Well, Rockstar Spud 2017 and Impact Wrestling. Just first of all, how excited are you for this new year with the company?
Again, new management, some returns in regards to Double J and Dutch Mantel, the old management / creative team. But after the tapings that we've just done, couldn't be more excited, especially with some of the TV that we've got going forward. Some of the most entertaining stuff that I think we've ever produced. And going forward, it's going to be a fun few weeks to see how it all unfolds.
I was going to say, where you talk about the changes that have been made backstage, obviously the new owners, but obviously Jeff Jarrett, someone who, the founder of the company, and Dutch Mantel as well. Just what influence have they had on the company so far? Because I know they were backstage at the tapings.
Backstage at the tapings, yes. I worked extensively with Dutch more than I did Jeff. Jeff is actually... being used as an advisor to Ed, our new president currently. Obviously, it's a new world for Ed to walk into. He's a very brave man because pro wrestling is a weird and wonderful world. But he's, Jeff's acting currently as an advisory role in regards to helping Ed, fit into his new role and stuff, which is, can't ask for a better mind than Double J. In that respect of the business. And Dutch Mantel, one of the most travelled veterans all over the world, just knows the business by the back of his hand. So that's been a great experience for me, working with someone who's been around the block for the last nearly 40 years, and just pick his brain wherever I can. So as a student of the game, as I like to refer to myself, I'm having the time of my life.
And now working with Aaron Rex, obviously, he's probably one of the best character wrestlers that there's been in quite a while. It did seem in his previous company, wherever he was given a role, he'd knock it out the park, and he's got this new role now. Just what's it like working with him? One
of the most inspiring people I've ever been around. Aaron is completely insane, but that's what I love about him. He's very, he's all in. And I admire that so much because it actually raises my game too. So being able to work with a world-class entertainer like him, who's so good at what he does, the both of us as characters together, I mean, people know what I'm like on Impact Wrestling every week. They know what to expect of me. And sometimes they don't know what to expect of me, and that's what's fun about it. But it's, it's very inspiring to be working with someone that's like-minded as myself. And just being able to go out there and perform, and that's what we both love to do. And this new character that that we're both doing, because it's a package. It's not it's Aaron Rex with Rockstar Spud. It's a complete package, pair of us. It's the Aaron Rex and Spud, who are two of the most fabulous entertainers that you're ever going to see walk into an Impact Wrestling ring, and we are there to give you the greatest show on earth. So. Going forward, we've already taped some really exciting stuff, and some stuff that's going to open your eyes, and some stuff that's going to make you think this is kind of strange. But all eyes on the product, and that's what we want.
And I mean, you look at the way that Impact Wrestling's been going in the last few months, kind of doing something a little bit different, offering an alternative, definitely, with, the likes of the Hardy Boys, obviously, Insane Matt, Broken Matt, Jeff as well. I mean, you were involved in one of them tapings at the Hardy compound. How was that? Because obviously watching it really was a sight to see for them 2 hours.
How was that? Let me tell you something, mate. I had to work with the most unprofessional little worm that I've ever encountered. A greenhorn, a nobody, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, but another guy that walks into the wrestling business that's riding off their parents' success and coattails. Yes, I'm talking about baby Maxwell Hardy, who couldn't tape the match when we wanted to. It had to be on his time. So obviously he's got to have his milk made at the right temperature. He has to arrive in a Mercedes-Benz car. I mean, come on. I mean, I've worked with some jerks in my life, but I have no idea what's going on anymore. I have no idea. That show was just completely insane from top to bottom. That Broken Universe is completely insane from top to bottom, but it's got people's attention. It's got people talking. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So, Matt Hardy's ahead of the curve, man. And whatever he's got going on up in that brain of his, it's happening, and it's happening on our TV screens. So enjoy the ride, because it's going to go for a long time.
Great to hear that, and I suppose that's the thing. Talking from one thing that is really ahead of the curve, and really caught fire recently. Another is the UK scene at the minute, because you had likes of World of Sport coming back to ITV for that special, and obviously the UK Championship with the WWE as well, and Impact Wrestling doing things in the UK soon. Hopefully, I mean, it's just a great time to be a wrestling fan here, isn't it?
It really is, and I mean, that's why we've got such a great connection. I always believe that TNA's connection with the UK scene was kind of a, it kind of paved the way for people seeing the UK talent. I mean, look at the success with British Boot Camp. Look at the success of British Boot Camp 2 that opened up to even more talents and shown the world that actually there's a lot of really, really talented performers that could be stars here. I always go back to British Boot Camp 2 and the UK finals where we had 16 of the best in the country, and you've got guys like Nikki Storm now, who's now with NXT. You got Mandrews, that was the eventual winner, that was obviously with us here at Impact Wrestling, and congratulations to him. He entered into the WWE UK tournament too. Dave Mastiff, that was the World of Sport champion for a cup of coffee. Sorry, Dave. But it was, these guys and girls from over here have always been TV ready and this talented. And I honestly believe that we at TNA really did open up a lot of eyes to the UK scene. Because there really wasn't a UK scene until after the first British Boot Camp, where people saw British Boot Camp, fell in love with those 4 characters, including Martin, the Blossoms, and myself, and then saw that there were other characters just like it. We could have been anybody. Really could. Really could. And the same with the 16 that went on to British Boot Camp 2 finals. That could have been anyone as well. So, because the plethora of talent over here is just amazing. Just amazing.
And I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? All these independent companies now, you look at ICW in Scotland, you've got, places like even Tidal Wrestling, which is based here in Leeds. So you've got just so many companies now that seem to be on the crest of a wave because of the talent that's breaking through.
Yeah, absolutely. And the scene's growing, and the industry is getting better here. And that's, such a small window of opportunity, but when it used to be back in the day, but now it's just opened up. The front doors are open, and you've just got to put a foot in and just get noticed. And
I know that you've been wrestling here in the UK as well for a couple of indie shows. How good is that to come back, and really be back where it all began?
It was pretty cool. I mean, I was brought in from by Progress Wrestling. Always had a good relationship with the owners, and never ever actually performed for their company before. And in fact, the only time I've ever actually been on one of their shows was during British Boot Camp 1, when we filmed a little thing between Marty, the Blossoms, and myself. But they said, look, we've lost a lot of guys going up to Blackpool, and we're in Birmingham, and we think the time's right that we work together. And I'm a pro wrestler, and just to return home to Birmingham and just perform in front of my mum and dad, it was kind of cool. And it was a really, really enjoyable night. And nights like that are just special, and especially to go home to a hero's welcome. And it was also a chance to go home because they said, we'd like you to do Rockstar Spud, that was the UK scene, Rockstar Spud, just as a little, because obviously I've had many incarnations of, the character and, of the performer that you see on television, and they wanted me to come in and be the one that from 2002 all the way up to, when I did British Boot Camp 1, they wanted that guy, and I'm like, go on then, I'll rock out the leathers for one more night, and it was fun, a lot of fun, and just, it made me feel really good about pro wrestling, and really good about the scene over here, and just being able to see my mum and dad was just really cool. It was really cool.
And looking at Impact Wrestling and the new stability which has been found, these new owners coming in, and obviously the plans they have put in place already. Just how much are you looking forward to it all getting underway? When these tapings obviously have happened, but getting able to see that on the screen as well, that what's happened, and obviously going forward as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is why. I mean, obviously, our relationship with Challenge has ended now, and we had such a wonderful, wonderful relationship with them. And it's such a shame to see, we work in the entertainment industry, and it's television. And once these contracts are up, they're up. But Challenge was such a wonderful partner. But one of the first things that Ed and the Anthem team implemented was the TNA Total Access app. And that was, to make sure that the fans in the UK and Ireland, that have been diehard TNA fans through and through. And one of the biggest complaints was always that they couldn't see TNA spoiler-free because they'd follow the wrestlers on their social media and they'd wake up on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whenever we're there, and they'd already know what's going to happen on Sunday. And it kind of left a bit of a sour taste in some people's mouths, and that was one of the big complaints always from the UK fans. They didn't want the show spoiled. They wanted to, watch it and feel it. So for $4.99 a month, you can now get the Total Access app in UK and Ireland, and you can watch it on your way to work the next morning. You can watch it live, at 1 or 2 in the morning, depending on when it airs over here in the UK. We've always had a trend of staying up late to watch pro wrestling here in the UK, but it is what it is. Always has been. Damn that time switch with the US. But now everyone can watch it live, or they can. The world's changed, and media has changed, and the way you watch media has changed. I compare everything to Total Recall. We can watch someone on the other end via video of a phone. You know what I mean? It's completely insane the way the world's gone. But also on the Total Access app, you can watch all pay-per-views in the company's history, and all one-night-only pay-per-views in the company's history, and that includes seeing, obviously, now Double J's back with the company. You could see all his matches from the Asylum days, all AJ Styles' matches from the Asylum days, and all Samoa Joe's matches. Anyone that's current now that had such a wonderful career, even now with Kurt Angle, who's just been inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Famer everywhere he's going, and a TNA Hall of Famer as well. Just, you can watch these amazing career moments of these people that you can't get anywhere else except on the Total Access app. So it's an amazing thing that the Anthem team have implemented very quickly into for the company and for the UK fans.
And just finally, Spud, looking at Impact Wrestling and the UK, just how important would it be if Impact Wrestling can do another tour here in the UK in 2017?
I'm one of the ones pushing for it. Obviously, the UK scene's thriving right now, so I would absolutely love to. And I think plans will be in place sooner rather than later. So watch this space, and you never know when the announcement's going to be. But the wheels are in motion because the UK fans are absolutely phenomenal, and